What's up, T-Wolves? Welcome to another episode of Sleep, Never Heard of Her, the podcast that tells you why you're probably tired and what to do about it. I'm Cooper.
And I'm Lila. Today's episode is brewing up something real special. Yep, we're talking about one of the biggest enemies of sleep, caffeine. That sweet, sweet energy boost that might be wrecking your sleep cycle.
Exactly. We did a survey of 50 THS students last week, and get this, 67% of you drink caffeine at least 3 times a week, and 42% of you said you drink it daily. But here's the kicker, almost 80% of you said you feel tired during the school day.
Coincidence? I think not. Let's break it down.
So let's talk about how caffeine works. Caffeine blocks a chemical in your brain called adenosine. That's the one that makes you feel sleepy. So when you drink that afternoon latte, it keeps your brain wired for hours.
Totally. Research from the Sleep Foundation shows that caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours. That means if you have a Red Bull at 4 p.m., half of it is still in your system by 10 p.m. No wonder you're up scrolling TikTok at 1 in the morning.
Been there, and science backs it up. According to the National Institutes of Health, caffeine consumption, even 6 hours before bed, can reduce total sleep time by over an hour. It's a big deal, especially for teens who already aren't sleeping enough.
Plus, when your sleep gets thrown off, so does your circadian rhythm. That's your body's internal clock. And when your clock is off, your mood, focus, memory, and even your immune system get wrecked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I used to slam a monster before practice and then wonder why I couldn't sleep that night. I didn't know that caffeine could stay in your body so long. Once I stopped drinking it after 2 p.m., my sleep started getting way better.
Same. I cut off on the afternoon swig run and started waking up less tired. It's wild how much of a difference it makes, and it's not just about feeling sleepy, it affects how we learn too.
Yup. Memory takes a hit when you don't sleep well. According to a study in Nature Reviews Neuroscience, sleep helps consolidate memories. That means it locks in when you've learned during the day.
So if you're pulling an all-nighter and chugging Red Bull to cram for that math test, you might actually forget more than you remember. Sleep is like your brain's save button.
Yeah, let's take a second to talk about what that means for school. Sleep affects your ability to focus in class, how well you remember stuff, and even how you treat other people.
Yeah, there's an article from the APA that says lack of sleep is linked to risky behaviors in teens, including stuff like unsafe sex. That's serious. The study says teens who didn't get enough sleep during the week or weekend were nearly twice as likely to take those risks.
So it's not just about being tired, it's about your whole brain not functioning at full power. And caffeine's a big part of that problem if it's pushing your sleep time later and later.
All right, let's go into the solutions, because we're not here to just call you out. We've got tips to help you sleep and study better.
First tip, cut off caffeine after 2. That gives your body enough time to process it before bedtime. Try not to use it as a crutch. If you're tired, maybe you need more sleep, not more coffee.
Next, set a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends. It trains your circadian rhythm to stay balanced. The Sleep Foundation says consistency is key for teens.
Also, create a bedtime routine. That means no screens an hour before bed. Yeah, that's a long time, but you gotta try it out. Try reading, journaling, stretching, something chill. Blue light from your phone delays melatonin, which makes it harder to fall asleep.
Keep your room cool and dark. Sleep experts say the ideal sleep temperature is around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So if your room is a sauna, it's time to change it up. Use blackout curtains if you have to.
Want to boost learning too? Try using spaced repetition. That's when you review info over time instead of cramming. Research shows that it improves long-term memory. And combine it with sleep and you're golden.
And don't be afraid to ask for help. If you're really struggling with sleep, talk to a parent, counselor, or even your doctor. There are apps like Sleeptown or Calm that help you build healthy habits.
Same goes for learning. If you're stuck, ask a teacher, join a study group, or try a tutor. Don't wait till you're overwhelmed. The earlier you get support, the easier it is to stay on track.
Before we go, here's something to think about. We asked THS students, what do you think causes your bad sleep? And guess what the number one answer was?
Stress and caffeine. Not really surprising, but here's the thing. You can actually control both. That's the power move. You're not just stuck with bad sleep.
So if you're trying to fix your sleep cycle, start small. Skip that late monster, go to bed 15 minutes earlier, put your phone down a little sooner, and it all adds up.
Thanks for hanging out with us today on Sleep, Never Heard of Her. Whether you're listening in bed or walking in class, we hoped you learned something new. And maybe got a little inspired to ditch that 5 p.m. monster.
Catch you next time, T-Wolves. Until then, stay chill, stay rested, and remember, energy drinks may hype you up, but nothing beats a solid 8 hours.
Peace.
Bye.